NFL season, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Atlanta Falcons. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night prime time. And he returns this to the 22.
Get it! 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. Ready, right?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got his man, it's Williams. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
One down, only about 500 more to go this season. He would certainly welcome most of his passes this year going as well as that. Now that the first one is over, time to settle into a groove and begin the long journey towards Week 18 and hopefully the playoffs.
On first and 10, here's Gibbs. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8 at the 36-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on second and 8.
Tag! Chest, Bronco 80. Dragon 60.
They'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready? Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Panther 60, Panther 60. 19 Lions. Warrior 70. Check out.
Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
60. 19 tight, 19 tight.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First down. First down and 10 yards to go.
Ready, go.
Gibbs straight ahead. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11.
Cup 19, Cup 19.
12-yard line.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. 18 Pioneer. Ready, right?
They'll set up a throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete.
quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons.
29-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week one. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Their own 35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Check, stop, here we go, set. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
At the 34-yard line.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Let's go. 70 Timberwolves.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this out to about the 40. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Here we go, here we go. 19, Tiger, 19.
Here's Daniels. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Gravity Lions. Hurt. Warriors, 70.
Daniels going to throw for it. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
68.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Come on. Set. 7 Pirates, go.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Panther 11, Cowboy 80. 65 catch.
He'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
It's a gain of 20.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Let's go now. Bronco 80. 70 Ranger.
And Gibbs has it. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons add 6 to their lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good.
Falcons 10, Lions nothing. Will Reichard to kick off.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. kicking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
17 yards. And the Lions
Hey,
first down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Liking 18.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Here we go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Daniels looking to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Come on. Set. Cougar 19. 18, Rodney, 18, 60 Vikings, 60 Vikings. 7 Pirates, go.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And it is caught. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Now Daniels going to keep it. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jaden Daniels. 15 yards. And the Lions are back within a score. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7.
Lions 7. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated Bruce. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that, Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
Here we go. Set.
First
60
down.
Eagles. 60 Eagles.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Out of the gun, they give to Gibbs. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll look to throw here. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
10 yards.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, that is just a flat miss. He's in the pocket. The protection holds up. He sees his man come free, but maybe he just gets a little excited about the prospect of a long touchdown.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 14.
That's another Falcons.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Gibbs is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Looking to throw.
3-yard line.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 3-yard touchdown run. As his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Line 7. Will Reichard to kick off.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive if they watch the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they haven't had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know one big play there gets them right back up to that level.
Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Lions are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Let's go now.
They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the
79
49-yard line.
Broncos. 19 Lions. Let's go.
2nd and 5. Now short pass pulled in by Washington. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Falcons. Darnell Washington, 49 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
That's the score. Falcons 24, Lions 14. Will Riker to kick off.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. That's caught. It's Travis Hunter. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Every now and then I can speak from experience, because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes, because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or 2.
70 Lions. Viking 18.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now he'll tuck this and run. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. The improv act, they're good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got it to Williams. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, Might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't give points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
Now they run the option on second down. And it's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
Let's go now.
First
Down
and
the
10
line.
at the 48-yard line.
Ready?
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 114 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Cowboy 80.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings. Pioneer.
To throw is Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Panther 11, Panther 11.
On 4th down, here's Daniels. He'll try to do it himself. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
First down. It's a gain of 10. First down.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone.
Cougar 19.
Throwing now is Daniels. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
Go, here we go, set. Ready.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
To the air goes Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1.
Panther 60, Panther 60. Warriors 70. Buffalo 18.
Now Daniels. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 36 yards on the play.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Final minute now of the third quarter.
Come 19.
He'll drop to throw.
He's got it complete to Gibbs.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown Atlanta.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Already his 2nd touchdown here this opening weekend.
And the Falcons are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Lions 14. Will Reichard to kick off.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Dragon 60.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down.
He's going to let this one go deep.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
A gain of 10 yards. And the Lions, first down.
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter.
Past the 60, past the 60.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. On a determined run there as he's going to take us all the way down near the 40. 129 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And the Lions, first down.
Let's go. 77.
Right back to him on 1st down. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 11 yards there, just like last play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Ready. Cowboy 80.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up.
Cowboy 80. Cut 19. Cut 19. 19, 18. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line.
On the set. Warriors 70.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Detroit.
Hawk 7, 18, Rattler, 18, Rattler. Ready.
Here's Daniels. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes
touchdown. A great play there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
On the ready.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 2nd and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
On play action, they'll throw. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Cowboy 80. 18, Pioneer.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Riley Dixon now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. He'll field this at the 5. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. This is 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. They'll come up now on 2nd down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Daniels looking to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now Daniels going to keep it. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 41. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Get it. 70 Timberwolves.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Touchdown, Falcons. Jahmyr Gibbs with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Falcons are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
21. Will Reichard to kick off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter. 141 yards rushing for him now to this point. 2nd down and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. There he goes, right side. He may go. And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. A great effort there. Now with his 3rd touchdown in his first ever NFL game. And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. That one looks like he'll throw here. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go, set. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Panther 60, Panther 40.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, partner, tonight was a